Okay, so today we are reviewing this bass amp. It's the H&H Electronics Studio Bass 120, which means it's a bass amp, and it means it's got 120 watts of power behind it. It's a combo, meaning the preamp and the amp section is built into one box. It comes with a 15-inch speaker, and it's pretty light actually for its size. Something that you could easily, drag, carry, put in the trunk of your car, or even carry on the train if you have to. And it's got a lot of features. For one, you can see that the gain knob and the master volume, they both have LEDs in the back. And right now it's green, but you can see as I crank the gain up, it'll start turning red. And that's to tell me that I'm clipping, that my signal is getting too hot. And that's a very useful feature because sometimes when you can't hear very well, it's good to have a visual signal to tell you that your signal is crapping out. Especially in shows live on stage where there's so much happening, a little red light there is a good warning for you to have to check your settings. Let's hear what the amp sounds like. Bass flat, all the amp settings are flat. Right away I can tell it has a very vintage sounding tone. It's got a lot of nice round bottom end. I'm sure because of the choice of speaker, when you go with a bigger speaker such as a 15-inch, you do tend to get more warmth on the bottom end, and you have a nice round sound. So flat, this is a very useful tone. I mean, this is the tone that you've heard on countless records, especially in probably the Motown era and stuff like that. Probably a lot of reggae records you'll hear a similar tone as well. So for our first option of the tone, I'd like to press the shape button and see what that sounds like. And there you have it. With just one flick of a switch, you have a more modern, aggressive sound. You can hear the top end of the instrument has come out. There's more low end, and the mids have dipped considerably, which is essentially what the modern bass tone is. It's very scooped and very easy to place in the mix. So this is very useful, especially for those of you who like to slap. I'll remove the shape switch. So this is flat, and I'll do a little slap for you. So again, it sounds kind of old school funk, it sounds very Motown. Now I'll put the slap switch in, the shape switch in. And there again, with just one flick of the switch, you have access to a more in-your-face, more modern tone, depending on what your gig requires and how you want to sound. And after that, you have further tone shaping capability with this 6-band EQ, which offers a lot of boost and a lot of cut. Let's take this 400 Hertz slider, for example. So you can see that that's a lot of EQ power, because when I put the slider all the way up, it sent my signal into red. So this is not a mild EQ. This is something that you can use to shape your tone radically. Here you have a DI out with a pre and post switch. What does that mean? You have the option of sending your signal to the house, and you have the option of sending it with the EQ engaged or not. So that's up to you and your sound man to decide which would be the better setting for the scenario. Based on the price, I think this is something most mid to upper level players could get into. Because of its size, it's portable, and it's got a lot of volume. I think probably too much volume for this room, even if I had been playing with a drummer. This could, you know, keep up. And I would say for a small to medium club gig, this would be a perfect choice. So there you have it, the H&H Studio Bass 120, available at JB Music Audio Solutions in Cubao. And there you go, H&H Studio Bass 120.